I'm the devil's. Yeah, I feel like I'm the devil. Marble floors turn to pebbles. Backyards full of flowers, turn them into metals. We louder than my hell, yeah. 4-quarter faster house, we locked in. Just don't get popped, kid. Don't get popped, kid. New house smell, walk in full of grills.
Hey guys, welcome to Stretch and Recovery. This is a really good exercise to do if you've been working out a lot or if you want to work on your flexibility. These exercises can be done after workout, throughout the week, every night, whichever. So I'm starting out with rolling down and I'm going to bend my knees, keeping my chest connected to my thighs to stretch out my hamstrings. I'm going to shake my head no and then nod it yes to give it some movement and then rolling up, keeping my core engaged and my back protected. I'm going to roll down one more time. From there, I'm going to grab behind my ankles and stretch my hamstrings even more and then walk out to my first downward dog. I'm going to pedal out just so I can get a little give because it's the first downward dog of the day. Then I'm going to come down into a table. From there, I'm going to inhale and do a couple of cat-cow stretches, sorry. And that's just going to help my back, yeah? So I'm going to inhale whenever I cat, looking up or just gazing up. And then I'm going to exhale, rounding my back, keeping my core engaged as I do some cow. And then from there, I'm going to rotate clockwise and counterclockwise to get those extra kinks down in my spine and my neck, my shoulders, and give my body some movement. From here, I'm going to lift up my heels and stretch back into downward dog and pedal my legs out. Then I'm going to stretch my right leg up, keeping that hip is down as much as possible. I'm going to open up my knee and bend my legs so I can kind of get a deeper stretch in my hip and roll my ankle out clockwise and counterclockwise. From there, I'm going to stretch my right leg long and bring my knee to my chest and then come down for pigeon. Stretching my left leg long, I'm going to relax over that right knee. And this is a very uncomfortable and challenging pose, but as long as you keep your breath consistent in and out and just, stay in your truth. Keep your knee where you can. If it's not going to be parallel to your mat, and just stretch from where you are. From there, I'm going to pick up my left knee and bring it into my right. Sit down on both hip bones, and I'll be in pretzel. Bringing my right arm to my left arm to my right knee. And I'm going to look over my right shoulder as I stretch out my lower back. From there, I'm going to cross my right foot over my left leg and bring my ear to my shoulder, stretching out my neck and that shoulder. And then also bringing my head to the center, making sure I'm breathing, stretching my left arm over to the right side and just increasing the length on the left side. Really breathing deep into that left hip, keeping that on the floor, and stretching my right side up into my arm and lifting up. From there, I'm going to stretch over my right knee with both arms framing my knee and just keeping my lower back long, breathing deep so I can do a stretch over my right foot. This is a really deep and intense stretch if you want to work on your hip flexibility and your glutes and also your back. Then rolling up from the center, I'm going to cross my right foot over my left knee. Thread my arms through and pull my left leg to my chest so that my right leg comes even closer. From here, I'm going to lengthen my left leg and bring my right leg over to stretch out my lower back and get a little deeper into my spine. You want to make sure that your right shoulder is as close to the mat as possible. It's not worth compromising the integrity of the pose just to say, I brought my knee over. And then I'm going to come back on my back and bring my right leg over, opening the knee to the side just for a deeper hip stretch in the opposite direction. From there, I'm going to bring my right knee in line to my right shoulder and lengthen my leg from there. This is going to create a very deep and intense hamstring stretch. Grabbing hold to my ankle, I'm going to roll my ankle clockwise and counterclockwise, just so that I can have some mobility in my foot, and that at least lets me know where I am and like that a stretch isn't too intense for me. From there, I'm going to bend my knee, keeping my knee as close to my chest and my shoulder as possible. Straighten my leg from there, and then repeat. I'm a dancer, so it's important for me to be able to lengthen my leg, stretch it pretty far, and point my foot and flex it, because ideally when I'm dancing, that's where I want my leg to be and to have that line. So I try to practice it and stretch there. Then I'm going to open my right leg to the side for a deeper hip stretch. Cross that right foot over the left and bring the left up to my shoulder again. Pushing my knee away slightly kind of gives a deep internal inner thigh stretch, and then pulling that knee closer to my chest kind of give a deep like hip buttock stretch. Then I'm going to keep my foot crossed over to my left a little bit more than the first time. Stretch over to that right side, revisit how that left side feels, and then fold over my right knee. I'm very tight in my hips, so when I keep that foot crossed over further on that leg, I'm getting a deeper and more intense hip stretch, which is why I keep it towards the end. Then I'm going to corkscrew over and stretch back into my downward dog, walking out. From there, I'm going to lift my left leg and kind of repeat the same sequence over that I did on the right side. Opening my left knee, rotating that ankle clockwise and counterclockwise, then bringing my knee to my chest and resting in pigeon. It's very important to keep your hip down as much as possible and keeping your opposite leg long. Pigeon is a very interesting and deep and intense pose, but it's so necessary for recovery and for flexibility. So take your time, be patient with yourself, and make sure that you're safe. From there, I'm going to come out of pigeon and bring my right knee into my left leg as I did on the right side, but with the left leg. And I'm going to hook my right arm around my left knee and look past my left shoulder and stretch out my lower spine. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, just staying focused on the pose, the alignment, and stretching. From there, to give you a better view, I'm going to face forward and bring my left foot into my right leg, crossing over, and bringing my left shoulder or my left ear to my left shoulder to stretch out the right side of my neck. And then bringing my head forward, keeping my back aligned in my neck and relaxing my shoulders. I'm going to bring my head forward to stretch out the center of my spine, breathing deeply. This looks like it's not much going on, but trust me, there's a lot going on. Then I'm going to take my right arm and reach far and long over to the left side, giving my right side a deep and intense stretch as I did on the left side. Looking up, opening my heart and breathing, keeping both hip bones flat on the mat. Then I'm going to face my left knee as I did on the right knee, keeping my back as long as possible and just breathing in and out. From there, I'm going to walk to the center, keeping both hip bones seated on the mat and stretching as long as possible with my back protected. You want to make sure with all of your stretching that your core is protecting your back. I'm going to roll up in the center and find myself back on my back with my left foot crossed over my right knee and pulling my right leg to the center, stretching out that left hip and that left buttocks area. I'm going to cross my left knee over to the right side, trying to keep my shoulder down as much as possible. It's really hard, but I promise you, you're going to get more benefit and more shoulder stretch and chest stretch if you do so. Looking over, yep, correcting myself. Looking over to give you guys a high. Bringing my left knee over and opening it to the left side to give my hip a counter stretch and open it even more in the inner thigh. From here, I'm pulling my left knee to my left shoulder and stretching out my hamstring as I did on the right leg. If you're a dancer, it's really hard to not tickle your feet and not kind of give in to where you may be tight. But trust me, it's better to work on the alignment here than when you're performing because then you can't take it back. So here I'm stretching my hamstring by keeping my knee where it is and trying to stretch my leg. I'm not as flexible on my left side, so this is a really tight but necessary stretch for me. Then from here, I'm going to open my left leg to the left side and give my inner thigh a very long and deserving inner stretch to get that hip open on the other side. Cross that left leg over the right leg, thread my arms through and pull that right leg to my chest so that I can stretch out my left hip. Well, lost some ankles, of course. Then we're sitting back up, left leg crossed over the right with the ankle all the way over. This one hurts so bad, but it's so necessary. So I just try to take my time and be patient. As you can see, I'm very high up on my leg and my body isn't very close to my lower half. So I'm very tight in the hips, but this is something that I'm working on and you can too. From here, I'm going to go back to one more downward dog, the final one of our stretch routine, just to kind of get one last chance to walk the legs out, stretch out both hamstrings, see where I am. That's a really good evaluating place to just kind of see where your body is, how well you've done, what needs more attention, maybe another round. Then I sit back in child's pose with my hips flat to, well, not flat, but close to my heels and my knees far apart, just breathing deep in and out. Then I'm going to roll up and we're going to do some wrist exercises because we work those a lot. So I'm going to roll my wrists clockwise and counterclockwise. Stretch that right arm across my chest with the left arm's help. Squeeze my fist, release to just kind of get deep stretch into my shoulder. Then from there, I'm going to put that right arm behind my head, lengthen the arm from the elbow behind, and then just roll my wrist out. And then repeat on the left side. So here's where we wrap up the stretch and recovery session. Stretching out that left arm behind my head, last little tweak, and then hug yourself. Thanks for watching, taking care of your body, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.